Good morning. Today we will be going over the updated intake process for care coordinators in CoActionNet using the program enrollment form. The program enrollment form will be the major form that we utilize for this process now and moving forward. And the other forms that are required, the assigned staff form, the consent form, and the client information form, which is a new form that we've created just for our intake process, will be included in the program enrollment. So we'll go with our favorite client, April client. For testing, we'll view her folder. We will add a new program enrollment for this client. We will choose Driving the Dream as the program. This is important because this will give you access to the Driving the Dream program enrollment section of the program enrollment form, which will allow you to attach the assigned staff, consent, and client information forms. We will choose today as our enrollment date. Set the program site, funding source, region as Porter Leith for our test. The type of service we're providing to this test client is shelter and housing and income. No notes. You see we have the Driving the Dream enrollment section of the program enrollment form here. And in this section there's a note that says please save this form before continuing with this section. So let's do that now. Click Save and continue to stay with this program enrollment form. Once the form reloads, we still have the Driving the Dream enrollment section. We will add an assigned staff by clicking New. Entering today's date, the program enrollment that we just created and saved, the organization, which is Driving the Dream, the staff member, which is me. Alternatively, we can add a date staff stop working with client, although since this is a program enrollment, that would be inappropriate at this time. However, we can update this form later when assignments change. We can also assign a staff supervisor. I'll assign mine. Now you can see in the Driving the Dream enrollment section, we have an assigned staff record. We should also add our consent form here. Organization completing consent form, still Driving the Dream. Date signed, number of months. Each of these should be uploaded. And we'll have the client sign the consent. Now we'll save this record, which will return us to the program enrollment. And finally, we have the client information form. This is the new form. So assigned staff and consent existed previously. They were simply separated out into their own section. Now they're embedded here in the program enrollment. Client information is a new form. The client information form captures all of the fields that we need in order to monitor and review client progress and updates throughout their time enrolled in the program. It includes a lot of the fields from other forms that we were filling out previously, simply consolidated into one area. The date completed is today. The type is intake. There are 3 types available. Each client should have at least 2 client information forms, one that's completed at intake and one that's completed at discharge or exit. These allow us to determine client progress during their time on the program. Follow-up client information forms are for times when the client's situation has changed significantly enough to require a new form. So that could be a housing move, gain or loss of employment, a new educational status, a change in the household, or some other major change that would require this to be updated. And you'll see the sections of information that are included in this form, and that can help give you a guide as to what sort of changes we're talking about. Since we're enrolling this client, we'll choose intake. Marital status is single. Their first language is English. We'll enter primary phone number and address for the client's contact information. Throughout this information form, there are questions for the client to answer. Here are two of them. Have you moved your residence in the last year? No. Do you or a member of your household own the residence where you currently live? Yes. We want to record an emergency contact for this client in case we cannot contact them directly. We'll include information about the client's health and health insurance. The effective date is today. Health insurance type. We will say health insurance from a job. Question for the client. Do you have one person you think of as your personal doctor or healthcare provider? Yes. Thinking about your physical health, which includes physical illness and injury. For how many days during the past 30 days was your physical health not good? We'll say 5. The client was sick. Thinking about your mental health, which includes stress, depression, and problems with emotions. For how many days during the past 30 days was your mental health not good? We'll say 0. How often do you get the social and emotional support you need? Always, or, well, usually. Client's employment status. This client is employed. We'll have some information about the employer. Name of employer, Wendy's. Job title, shift manager. Start date, a couple of months ago. Is the client currently enrolled in school? And the client's highest level of education to date. Client's total monthly income. Monthly housing expenses. Total monthly expenses. Total savings. You can use the federal poverty calculator to calculate the client's federal poverty level. Client's yearly income is 144% of federal poverty level according to our calculator. So they're between 100 and 200. We'll select 100. And now we're done. Save the linked record. We have added the client information form to the program enrollment. Now let's save the program enrollment. There we go. Now let's view the folder. We have here the program enrollment we completed today. We also have the assigned staff, consent forms, and Driving the Dream client information forms that we completed today. There. There. And there. So, if we need to update assigned staff, we do not need to update the client's program enrollment. We can simply update the assigned staff forms directly. If we want to assign a new staff, we can add the date that this staff stopped working with the client. Yes, we sent this discharge notices. Save the record. And you can add a new assigned staff here. The client information forms, accessed here, can also be rolled forward. And what we mean by that is that when you access the client's client information form, that form can be copied forward so that you don't have to complete every question every time you want to add a follow-up client information form. So we've opened the most recent form that we completed, choose Copy Record, go to the copy, and now you see we have a client information form that is mostly filled out for us. Some of the questions we'll need to answer again, but some will be included from the previous form. This is a follow-up. Answer the questions about moving residents. Answer the questions about health insurance that aren't completed. Ensure that there are no fields left blank. And save. Now you can see that we have the original intake form, and we also have a follow-up form. This can be really helpful as it doesn't require you to completely fill out this client information form every time you want to provide an update, only updating the information that has changed. And that's it. That's how we enroll a client in care coordination starting from today, June 11th, 2018. When we want to enroll a client, we'll review. We will simply go to a program enrollment, create a new program enrollment, completely fill out the program enrollment form, remembering to save the program enrollment before we attempt to add assigned staff consent or client information, and then ensuring that we add an assigned staff, a consent, and a client information. We should have no program enrollments for clients that do not have these three forms attached, because a program enrollment should include a staff assigned to that client, consent to be enrolled in the program, and some basic information. As always, you can contact myself or LaShondra Hill using our email address, or you can give us a call if you have any questions about this process or about any other process related to CoActionNet and Driving the Dream. Thanks, guys.